We were a week late on Log4j in the first place. Now, another week later, a critical update on today's not so critical update.
Thanks, Mike. Yeah. A couple of things have happened in the last week or so for the Log4j epic debacle. The first thing is that a couple of people looked into the deeper impact of this problem. And there's a story on ThreatPost, which is that the Java code repository is riddled with hidden Log4j bugs. Here's what to look for. The article that Mike pulled up here on the screen is from ThreatPost. The one I found is from The Record. Basically, what they've done is that, here we go. Thank you, Mike. So this one claims 35,000 Java packages are impacted. The other one was 17,000. It doesn't really matter which is correct, but it is a lot. It's all to do with supply chain. It's packages depending on packages which use Log4j, and because they're all interconnected and all just a nightmarish mess of spaghetti, everything is affected, basically. It's lovely.
So what's the big update from last week? What's changed?
No, people are just looking at it more carefully is the real thing. And it's going to take a while for the full scope of this to become available. Like when we talked about it last time, the thing I found like delicious about the whole thing is that we keep on finding another horrendous layer to this issue. Like it's old packages. It was discovered in 2013. It was,
even last week I predicted, it could take as long as a month to get all these systems fully patched.
Well, this is why you get paid the big bucks, Mike,
for that deep analysis.
The kind of the experience and the wisdom, the kind of
I've been there. I've lived through it all. I know how these things work.
It's
I was asking the same question though. Like, I want to hear the horror stories. I want to hear about stuff that actually broke because of this. Because in reading through a lot of this, it feels almost like Y2K, right? Mass hysteria, people working behind the scenes to fix stuff. And if they prevent all the actual problems, then I guess that's mission successful.
This is very different, this case. No. There's a link I didn't include, which I probably should have. There's a worm going around, a Log4j worm, which is just, it's a self-propagating virus, basically. And I think it actually installs a botnet or something like that. I forget the name of it, some miner or something like that.
So I did want to find these horror stories. So I did some research.
Oh, okay.
And I turned to our good friends at Bleeping Computer, who we have stumbled into a unintentional one-sided feud with. Meaning we keep throwing shots at them, maybe unnecessarily, just because it's fun, even though they've done nothing to harm us and don't even know or care who we are. However,
they don't care who we are.
For some excellent, deep reporting that I'm sure they cobbled together from bullshit blogs or whatever, because, some forum that a writer happened to be on.
Hey,
unnecessary. Totally unnecessary. I couldn't help it. It's just a habit. It's just a habit.
I've contacted some of these guys before, and they've been really nice.
I'm sure they're great. I have no reason to question this. It's just fun to have an adversary.
No, I'm gonna alert them of your
Look, bring it, Lawrence. Bring it.
Slander.
Come at me, bro. At any rate, so Log4j vulnerability now used to install Dridex banking malware. So this is getting malware onto a computer to harvest banking information. Another case, Conti ransomware uses Log4j to hack.
Wow, that's a blast from the past, but yeah, go on.
So there, it looks like there are some cases going out. This one was my favorite because they point out in this article, tell you the past ransomware revived in. This is the article, 2 sections. The section is Windows Log4j attacks. But they specifically mention financially motivated hackers began injecting Monero miners into compromised systems. And we actually talked about a compromised system last week I don't know, maybe that published even today. I don't pay attention. Where an AWS instance was compromised with Monero mining software, and I will just speculate unfoundedly, baselessly speculate that maybe it was related to a Log4j vulnerability. Will you sign off on my speculation? Do you endorse that theory?
I mean, sure, Mike. Yeah, I'll endorse your theory.
Look, that's all we need to write a bleeping computer article.
Yeah, that's true. A quote from someone. It's like Wikipedia. It's notable if it's been recorded somewhere, even though you can get that cycle of like Wikipedia articles which reference news articles, which reference Wikipedia articles. But because
that's how it works.
Yeah. It you know, you kind of sound a bit sarcastic, but it is. It is.
Oh, no, I know. Yeah. Why can't you tell, Peter, when I'm being sarcastic or not?
I don't know anymore with you, man. I genuinely, seriously, I can't tell when you're being serious or not. I'm just going to sort of take everything you say as 100% sarcastic.
Yeah. And go the other way.
I mean, I won't go the other way.
Oh, shoot.
Is that how? See,
I don't know. At any rate, bleeping computer is fine. It's just fun to, mess with you guys. You should totally promote our podcast. At any rate, it seems like there is actual harm behind Log4j. Very widespread problem. Oh, yeah. And I think, there could have been harm all along. We don't really have any idea. I mean, this was discovered as a zero-day exploit, right?
Mike, can I stop you there? There was harm all along. There absolutely 100% was harm.
Do we know? Do we know?
Yeah, well, I mean, just yes, because it was at a Black Hat conference, like the single biggest security conference in the world every year, and it was like publicly released. Then
So how does that happen? They talked about it at Black Hat and just nobody cared. It didn't hit the radar. Some bleeping computer writer stumbled across it in a forum and all of a sudden it became news. Like, what's the...
Someone basically
I can't help it. I don't know, those guys.
The Log4j thing, they weaponized it. They made it like, they turned a pile of gunpowder and some metal into a bullet and a gun. Like, they made it easy to shoot. But all the bits were there before. All it took was just a skilled person to put the bits together. Mm-hmm. And you can bet that nation-state actors and the NSA and whoever, they have been using this to their heart's content for the last 4 years or 5, 6 years, however long it's been. What year are we in anymore? Jesus.
Just one really more thing that can go wrong.
You know what?
We had our third AWS outage today.
Yeah. We should
just pile it on.
We're not going to talk about that. We should pile it on. Who cares about multi-region capabilities? I mean, it's hilarious, the AWS thing. So the first region of AWS went down last week, and everyone's like, "Oh, well, I've been saying that we should implement multi-region capabilities in our infrastructure, so spread our servers across the world, so that when one part goes down, then everyone's like, yeah, we should get on that." And then a couple of days later, the next one, the other half of AWS goes down. A lot of Amazon just falls off the internet.
No, just East Coast.
And everyone's like, see, told you. And then we're here a week later. Then the first half goes down again.
And then that's why covered on this show a week after that.
Yeah, if people can actually access the recordings to listen to it.
I do. We could name this episode Jon Embarrassed. And he's not here to defend himself, but I do want to give credit to Jason Tiscioni for calling out Jon's example. Since Jon's not here to defend himself, Jon gave an example of a server running unpatched since 2012. It was pointed out that the virus or the vulnerability was introduced in 2013. So we may need to rethink Jon's expert status on the show.
And
we'll have this discussion again while he's not here to defend himself.
Yeah, if you ask him why he couldn't make it as host this week, he will say that he's off, Christmas with the family. But let's just say words have been had, and we think a timeout might have been necessary just to kind of reflect on his poor behavior.
Yeah, he's been suspended, pending review of his misstatements and refusal to investigate. Yeah, exactly. So, if he's not here tomorrow, then you'll know, or next week, because secret. We actually record an entire week's worth of segments at once and then drop them out over the week. So that's why Peter is always wearing the same T-shirt every day.
Yes, Dad. You get it now?
Did I ruin the mystery? Except what he was referring to is like, no, he actually sees you wearing the same T-shirt every day.
Oh, yeah, that's because I stayed with him for a while and I just didn't change my clothes for like a week. But, hey, that's what are you going to do?
Well, we'll get Johnny's rebuttal if he's allowed to return to the show in a week.